Okay, 2.5. We need to evaluate these answers right here. We got -7, parentheses, -2 plus 3. First off, you need to put multiplications dots. Find your parentheses. When the parentheses start, is there a number right outside? Yes, there is. That means times. Okay. And at the end of the parentheses, there's already a plus, so we would not put it times. All right, first we multiply, okay? Negative times a negative is a positive. 7 times 2 is 14 plus 3. So 14 plus 3 is 17. Use your calculator to add or subtract on this assignment, because your number line, the numbers get too big to do a number line, okay? All right, next one, 4, -7, minus 3, 4, plus 8, -5. Okay, first thing you want to do, look at that parentheses. Okay, I need a sign there. That is a minus, so that's good. Need a times sign there. That is a plus, so I don't put it times, and that needs a times. Now, mark where you have your times, and know what you're going to be timesing, okay? So positive times a negative is a negative. 4 times 7 is 28. Now I want you to look at this. If that has a minus sign in front of it, that number there, you're going to make it plus negative. Okay? Then you can write plus. Negative times a positive is a negative. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay? Then the last product, that's a positive 8, doesn't have a minus, so positive times negative is a negative, and 8 times 5 is 40. Now the number line's not going to help because the numbers are too big, so I just then add on a calculator, -80. Okay, next, 10, -3 plus -6. Now look at your parentheses. Okay, the 10 in the parentheses need a sign. Then I have plus. Okay, so I'm good. Okay, again, there's no number against that parentheses, and there's nothing after. That's the last parentheses. I'm not going to put a times dot here because there's not that number outside. We got the plus sign. So the only multiplication I make is there. Positive times negative is negative. 10 times 3 is 30 plus -6. -36. Okay, next problem. We have -8, -2 minus -4. Okay. Okay. So between the 8 and the parentheses, you have a times sign. Okay. So the numbers I'm going to be timesing, we have -8, -2, that's 16. Now let's look at this other parentheses. Well, there's no number there, so there is no times. So minus -4. So now go to your calculator. 16 minus -4 is 20. Okay. Because really it's 20 plus 4. All right, next problem. 7, -2 plus 2, -16. So look at the first parentheses. Okay, we need a dot there. Then I have a plus. Need a dot there, and then it ends. So I make the multiplications here. 7 times -2, that's -14. Positive times a negative. Positive times a negative is a negative here. 2 times 16 is 32. So I'm adding -14 plus -32, -46. Okay, next problem. -8 with the 3 plus 7. So we need a times sign there. Here I have a plus sign. There should be a sign coming off each parentheses. Times, plus, okay? So I multiply there. Negative times a positive is a negative. 8 times 3 is 24, and then plus 7. negative 17. Okay, negative 4, parentheses, negative 2 plus negative 4. Okay, need a symbol there, a sign there. Here I have a plus, so I'm good. Okay, I don't have a number outside there or there. Okay. Okay, so negative 4 times negative 2, negative times a negative is a positive, and that'd be 8. Plus negative 4. So 8 plus negative 4 is 4. Okay, next one. We've got negative 10, 3, minus 2, negative 5. So you got a number in front of that parentheses? Yes, you do. How about in front of that one? Yes, you do. Okay, so those are both times. So we take negative times a positive is a negative, that's 30, and then plus. Now, when that number has a minus in front of it, okay, the first number, that's actually, we make that plus negative. It's a negative times a negative. That's going to be 10. So then I take negative 30 plus 10 is negative 20. Next one, negative 3, negative 6 plus 7. Do you got a number right in front of that parentheses? Yes, you do. And that's the only parentheses you have, so we need to multiply there. So negative times a negative is a positive. 3 times 6, 18, then plus 7. 18 plus 7 is 25. Okay, next one, negative 4, negative 5, minus negative 2. Got a number outside of that parentheses? Yes, you do. How about that one? Nope, nothing there, so no dot there. Negative times a negative is a positive. 4 times 5 is 20. Minus negative 2. Okay? Now, one thing on this assignment I would like you to do, if you end up with a minus after you times, fix it. When you have a minus and a negative after, you're going to go plus, plus. 20 plus 2 is 22. Okay. Next one, 12, negative 3, minus 7, negative 2. Got a number in front of that? Yep. Got a number right in front of that? Yep. So you got to make two multiplications. Positive times a negative is a negative. 12 times 3 is 36. Now let's look at these. I know that's negative 2. That minus 7 is a plus negative 7. Okay? So negative times negative is positive, and it'd be 14. Negative 22. Okay? If that was confusing to you, I got maybe another way that might work. Okay? Negative 5, negative 2, minus 5, negative 3. One thing, all these little signs here, make them plus negative, plus negative, plus negative, plus negative, plus negative. Now I know for sure where the negatives are, okay? Maybe do that, that might help, okay? Now these two parentheses together mean multiplication. Now let's go look at this parentheses number right outside it means times. So we have 2 times we have to make. Okay, so negative times a negative is a positive, that would be 10, plus negative times positive is a negative, and 5 times 3 is 15. Then I go 10 plus negative 15 is negative 5. Okay, next one, 4, negative 2, plus 10, negative 7, plus negative, okay. So again, number outside there, yep, now check the other one, number there, so we have to multiply these. 4 times negative 2, that would be negative, 4 times 2 is 8. Positive times a negative is a negative. 10 times 7 is 70. So I have negative 8 plus negative 70. That equals negative 78. Negative 6, negative 2, minus negative 4. Plus negative, plus negative. Okay, that has a negative right after it. So when that has a negative after it, it goes plus, plus. Okay? So fix the minus, those little signs first. Okay? So between these two, be a times sign. And then that doesn't have a number, so there's no times in that parentheses. So negative times a negative is a positive. It'd be 12 plus positive 4. 12 plus 4 is 16. On a calculator, you can't go 12 plus 4. It's just 1 plus. Okay, 12 plus 4. Okay, next one. That might actually work better is if you made those little signs. Fix those little signs before you get started. Okay, so 8 parentheses negative 4 minus 2 parentheses negative 3. Plus negative, plus negative. Remember, it's always plus negative unless there's a negative after it, okay? Then it's plus plus. So times here, times here. Positive times a negative is a negative. 8 times 4 is 32. That's a negative times a negative. So that's positive 6. Negative 32 plus 6 gives me negative 26. Okay, negative 5, and then we're going to have negative 3, minus 4, negative 3. So first off, fix all those, okay? Now put times dots where you need to. So we got a 5 right in front of that parentheses. We got a negative 4 in front of that one. So we times here and here. Negative times negative is positive, that'd be 15. Negative times negative is positive, that's 12, so that ends up as 27. Okay, then you got several problems where you have to substitute for the variable, okay? Okay, we have 2x plus xy, x equals negative 3, y equals negative 5. Here's what you want to do first. Please parenthesize your variables. Now empty your parentheses. 2 parentheses plus parentheses, parentheses. So x is negative 3, negative 3, negative 5. Now all of those negative, we're going to focus on all those. So plus negative, plus negative, plus negative. So let's look in this, there's a times there because there's a number outside. Now and here we have 2 parentheses back to back. That also means times, okay? So we times those and times those. So 2 times negative 3. Positive times a negative is a negative. 2 times 3 is 6. Negative times a negative is a positive. 3 times 5 is 15. And I add negative 6 plus 15. It's 9. Okay, next up, xy minus 5x. X equals negative 4, y equals 3. So parenthesize your variables, and now empty your parentheses. So x, negative 4, y, 3. And then the x here is negative 4. Plus negative, plus negative, plus negative. Okay? So these 2 parentheses back to back mean times, and then in this parentheses we got the number in the front, also means times. So negative times a positive is a negative, 4 times 3 is 12. Plus negative times a negative is a positive, 5 times 4 is 20. So negative 12 plus 28. Okay, negative 8x minus xy. x equals -5, y equals 3. So we replace each variable with parentheses. And now I empty the parentheses because in their places I put the number. Okay, -5, -5 for x here, and then 3. All right, now fix those signs, plus, negative. Okay, this, and then the 5 is plus, negative. Okay. Okay, I'm going to fix this, but when there's a negative after it, it goes plus, plus. Okay, just plus, plus, not plus and plus, negative, plus, plus. And now all those signs have been, we've highlighted them all. Okay, so a number out front of the parentheses there is times. 2 parentheses back to backs times. So, -8, -5. It's positive product. 8 times 5 is 40. Both positive, so it'll be a positive product, and 5 times 3 is 15. 40 plus 15 is 55. Okay, next up, -2x plus x. X equals -10. So I parenthesize both the x's, and now I empty them, and I put -10. Now, do you have a number in front of that parentheses? Yes. Do you have a number right in front of that one? No, so no times dot there. Okay, actually, if you want to go plus, negative, so I know those two are negative, and I know that 10 is negative. So -2 times negative times a negative, there is 20. Plus, and that 10 is negative. So it's 20 plus -10, and that equals 10. Okay, -5a minus 6b. A is -3, b is -4. Okay, so replace your variables, now empty the parentheses. -3 here, -4 here. Okay, let's fix those nasty negative / minus signs. So that's plus, negative, plus, negative, plus, negative, plus, negative. They're all plus, negative because there was never a negative after it. Okay, number right there means times. Number there means times. Negative times a negative is a positive, that'd be 15. Negative times a negative is a positive, 6 times 4 is 24. 15 plus 24 is 39. Okay, 8n minus 5m. N equals -3, m equals -4. So empty out those parentheses. So 8 parentheses minus 5 parentheses. Okay, n is -3 and m is -4. Alright, so plus negative on the 3, plus negative on the 5, plus negative on the 4. So times, times. Again, I'm going plus negative because none of those had a negative after it. Wasn't a double negative. Okay, positive times a negative is a negative. 8 times 3 is 24. Negative times a negative is a positive. 5 times 4 is 20. So negative 24 plus 20 is -4. Okay, now these -6 parentheses 3x plus 5, x equals -4. Okay, so we're going to put a -4 in for x, so I parenthesize that, okay. So -6, parentheses, 3, empty that. We're going to put -4, substitute that in for x, okay. Now we got a bunch of parentheses here, so this one's got the number in front. This has a number in front, and then that's it, okay. Now, here's the key for this. You have to do this whole big parentheses first before you worry about the -6, okay? So we need to first take 3 times negative 4. If you want to go plus negative, that's fine, but that's negative 6 still, and negative 4. 3 times negative 4. Positive times a negative is a negative. 3 times 4 is 12. So we now have negative 6 times negative 12 plus 5. Now we are going to add now negative 12 plus 5. Going to be negative 7. So we now have negative 6 times negative 7. Now I can times them. Negative times a negative is a positive. 6 times 7 is 42. Okay, and then we're going to look at another one. Okay. We got 4 parentheses x plus 4, x equals negative 6. So I'm going to parenthesize that. And now I just empty the parentheses. And I put negative 6 in. Okay. Now we got to, again, figure out this. We got that 4 there. There's nothing outside of that one. Okay. We got to figure this out though. Okay. So I got to find negative 6 plus 4 first, because that's in the parentheses. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. So we have 4 times negative 2, and that's negative 8.